Hey guys, and welcome back to the Sims 4 speed building video. Today we are finishing BruisedMomo's Finish Me Fam number 8. This is the shell. She went with a rather strange, 6 outer buildings and a main building. And yeah, obviously with a Finish Me, you're not allowed to like change the shell or anything. You've got to keep it going. And when I kind of looked at this, I decided it was going to be Victorian in its elements because I'm not really sure. I haven't done a Victorian build in a while. I thought the shape kind of suited a Victorian estate kind of things. You have like the main house and then you have outer buildings. And yeah, you saw that I skipped through most of the roofing there because for some reason it took me a very long time and it's just a lot of me doing the same thing really slowly, being like, how do I do this? So yeah. As with all of BruisedMomo's Finish Me Fams, we obviously have a hidden object, a required object, and that in this case is this llama statue. So as I was building a very Victorian estate, I thought we need a big pond, and I put that as the kind of centerpiece in the massive pond. By the way guys, in this video there's going to be a lot of like time skipping. I'm like skipping over like the really fiddly bits of doing things because I did a lot of landscaping. I don't really skip over things in furnishing, it's just the landscaping on the outside because I do quite a lot and it was very repetitive. This build took me I think about 5 hours in total just because of how much landscaping there was. Like, it's only so fast you can put, trees down or foliage. Like, it just takes you a while. Anyway, that's like by the by. So right now I was going round and putting in all the windows. Obviously with the front door being the Get Famous door, I wanted to match, some of the windows, but I didn't want to continuously use that door and those windows. So I've used them around the front definitely, and then I've mixed and matched it with some of the other windows to make it a little bit more classic and that kind of thing, just to have a bit of variation. Also, because of where this lot was centred and how the spots were, there was a lot of backyard space, and I thought, what is more Victorian than a big old maze? I've never been able to put a maze in one of my builds before, and so I thought it was a really cool idea. So I just had a lot of fun making these hedges go higgledy-piggledy, trying to make dead ends, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Something I definitely recommend you doing is building a maze. I think it'd be really cool on like community lots as well. If you're making some kind of park or gardens that people go visit, go make them a maze to walk around and hide objects in it. Make sure the object isn't too tall, so your sim, wouldn't be able to use it as like a landmark, but have them like walk around a corner and come face to face with the statue. So yeah, I've hidden a bunch of things in there that you haven't really seen, and you won't see in the screenshots either. So if you want to know what's in my maze, then you have to go and download this build off the gallery. As always, it's available on the gallery. The link is down in the description down below, or you can search for the hashtag #MezzaSheepGames and you'll find it along with all my other builds. But yeah, so moving on from that bit of the backyard, I was trying to keep myself really interested in how the build was going and not doing stuff. So I did kind of jump around a bit, and again, you've seen me jump forwards because I've redesigned the path. It was originally train paint, as you saw, but the corners looked really rubbish, so instead I've used some tiles instead. And here we go, we're going to see some of the foliage and the landscaping here. And you can tell, you will see why it took quite so long. So I've lined this area with, it kind of looks like rose bushes to me. It's not, it's one of the bushes from Island Living. I really liked it. It looked really like posh and fancy. And then I've lined this whole area with a kind of grass, with some kind of grass to make it raised up a little bit more. And then I've literally just filled the kind of bed area with flower plants. So I've done this all the way along this side of the house. I then do it on the other side, and then basically everywhere else that's kind of like penned in by the fences. So a whole load of this. You'll see in the screenshots at the end, and probably in some of the later build shots, just how much there is of this foliage. I love it, but it took so long. So now we're kind of done with the foliage that you guys are going to see, and it's moving on into the interior of the house. So I definitely wanted to keep this with a Victorian kind of theme, and kind of like the last Victorian house that I did, it's sort of semi-renovated. I wanted to keep the kind of wallpapers and flooring and some of the furnishing to look old, as you'll see as we go through, but then have some of the updated things. So obviously we've got a TV, and that kind of thing. So, and the bathrooms have been redone since the Victorians, to make it kind of nice. But as you can see, we are going through and putting in beds, because once I kind of got up to that top floor, I wasn't really sure how to put in, you know, what to put in terms of flooring and walls, because I didn't know where anything was going. So I'm going through and kind of blocking out where I think things are going to be. So I've decided this bit's going to be the kitchen. As you saw, I put some beds out and about. So we've got, you know, the bed in the main house upstairs, and in the kind of outer houses and outer buildings, they've each got a bed in as well. So the idea is, this is the main house. This is the thing that has the kitchen and the living room in it. The bedroom upstairs is just for the one sim who lives in the house. And then the outer buildings have bedrooms, and they've got their own bathrooms, which are actually nicer than the main house's bathroom. Not entirely sure why that happened, but it did. And then they have their own kind of study or, you know, entertaining rooms, you know, just to make it kind of cool. As you can see, using base game windows there, with the shutters, because I think that looks kind of Victorian, kind of oldie, without, you know, adding too much of the really over-the-top, ostentatious, get famous windows. You know, I wanted to have a kind of a balance, and I didn't know what else to put, so I thought I'd go with those. Looking at the build like this, though, it kind of makes the house look a little bit one-eyed, but there we go. Yeah, a little bit more decorating. Thought I'd put some, you know, some ivy up, and of course a post box and a bin. Very important. It was just to kind of make the build look a little less flat, as were these balconies actually. I thought, you know, the build on the side looked very flat. On the front you've got the different angles of walls and things, and on the side it looks really flat. So good old balcony. Sims can't use it, but it looks cute, so why not? And then I changed up the balcony fencing, like, yeah, the balcony fencing across the top, and some of the window colours. Oh, we have a little bit more back garden renovating, so I've put in the wishing well as well around the back, along with some trees and a few benches, and I really wasn't sure how to kind of sort this bit here. I think we go with some form of arch. Yeah, there we go. Downsize that arch a little bit, and I think it looks quite nice. So if we're finishing that little bit of decorating in the back garden, we're back inside the main house, but not specifically just the main house, I don't think. We're just going around and adding in some wallpaper, some flooring, even going across, here we go, to the outer buildings. So as you can see, I've kind of kept it with the same kind of colour running through, at least to begin with. I was wanting to, you know, make them have their own kind of theme. So one of the outer houses is very blue themed, one of them is rather pink, and we're onto the bathroom in here. So as you can see, it's a 4x4 square. It's very big. That's huge for a bathroom. So the people in the outhouses get to have very blingy, fabulous bathrooms. So they've got a massive shower, one of the ones from Get Famous, I think, because it's the gold shower. They have one of the vampire's toilets and a bathtub that I have no idea what pack it's from. It's a very nice bath. I honestly can't remember where it's from. A big old vanity sink, and quite a bit of decoration here and there. So, you know, adding the essentials like the toothbrushes and some soap. And then, you know, nicer things like some pot plants and towels and like a little footstool thing as well. And of course, curtains, because you don't want your bathroom not to have any curtains. And because I really liked the design in there, I literally copied and pasted it onto the other estate, so it's kind of mirrored. Not mirrored. well, no, kind of mirrored, and then to literally just change the colours around so that things would be a bit more pink and a bit more bright. Yeah, and again, with these bedrooms in here, really simple. It's literally, because it's only a 4x4 space and a bed is a 3x2 object, there wasn't a lot of space for anything else. So your bed kind of went in, and then they got end tables, and I don't really think they got wardrobes, but they do have mirrors, so in functionality wise in The Sims, that's enough. You know, you can go and change your outfit with that. Not quite as nice if you really want to go and use a wardrobe. You have to go and sneakily use the one in the main house. I've also pushed the beds right up against the wall just to have that extra bit of walkway for The Sims to be able to walk around, but it's all fine. People can walk around. And this one I put a little ottoman because I don't know, this bed didn't seem quite as long, so I felt I could actually do that. I don't know, are any of the beds like actually different lengths? Maybe an investigation needs to happen, or maybe it's just because that one had the big old... Actually, no, it's not, is it? Investigation cancelled. We don't need it. It's not any different. But yeah, to keep with a kind of Victorian theme, I tried to find some paintings that kind of fit that aesthetic, and mainly it's just like the portraits. So I've used pretty much every portrait going at different spaces in different areas to, you know, keep that Victorian theme going. But this room is this estate's kind of estate outhouses kind of living space, whatever you want to call it. So they have 2 armchairs, the organ, and 2 bookcases, because why not, and a few plants, and I felt that putting some nice curtains on it would be good as well, because, you know, there's lots of glass, lots of big windows, lots of big doors, so I thought they could use those. So this one has a nice big couch, but not that couch, apparently. Did I go for this one? Yeah, there we go. Go for this love seat. I've kept it very blue in this room, extremely blue. Some more portraits. I've used these end tables. I wasn't quite sure what to put in here. So I was debating on having these end tables and those plants like sized down going up, because I think they look quite cute sized down. But then here we go, putting the lamps on made it look weird, and you can't size them down anymore because then they just look strange. So I don't think we really have any plants in this room, but they've got a little coffee table that's sized down, and a drinks globe and easel. I was going to say painting thing, but I was like, I'm sure I actually know the real word for that. It's an easel. So yeah, so that's basically those 2 outhouses done. I keep saying outhouse or outer house. What's it called in an estate? I have no idea. It's the outer buildings. Do they have names? If you know what their names are, please let me know. But anyway, we're back in the main house, back in the kitchen, and absolutely loving the magic packs, like kitchen appliances and work counters. I keep forgetting the names of things, guys. It's really annoying. So yeah, just kind of using those different colours. I would never use this kind of colour palette in like a normal build. Even in like, you know, my cozy home builds, I would never use this darker wood in this kind of colour palette. So lovely. I've never used a green fridge and stuff like that. So fabulous. Getting to use objects I never use. Once again, I realise I say that every single video, but there we are. Yeah, so using bits and bobs, and I've started to put in some things for a pet, mainly a cat, because I am a cat person. Because with a house like this, I thought you might as well have a nice old, you know, have a pet. And I've also turned on the debug cheat, the show hidden objects cheat, just so I can get some, you know, coffee and, you know, some pots and pans. I can't quite remember if all of these stay around for the screenshots. We'll have a see when it comes around to that. Some of the items like despawn if they're like consumable items that Sims use, so, you know, glasses and things like that. Anyway, this is the bathroom for the main house. It's much less fancy than those for like the outer buildings, but it's a much smaller space. It's only 3x2, so, you know, a nice shower, toilets and everything. It's still updated compared to like the more Victorian kitchen that we have going on. Then we've got the living space. So this is just the kind of living area, since we had like a little dining table in the kitchen. We don't need another dining table in here. So I thought we'd go for a nice old fireplace, a kind of old looking couch. This is the one that came with Discover University. I was going to say Get University, but that's the wrong name. It's not a pack name. And then, you know, a couple of little chairs and plants. I almost forgot the word for plants. You can tell it's not a good day for me today. And then I put a TV on top, you know, keeping with the kind of, you know, we've updated it slightly. You know, someone's moved in and taken the everyday comforts with them. But since that normally doesn't place on top of a fireplace, I've had to move it up, which meant that I could push it back and then we can have some plants in front of it, which is always very nice. And then because there's a little area here behind the couch, I thought it's a perfect place for a desk. It doesn't look out of place. They can have like a laptop, or you can give them something else. You can just get rid of it if you like. And then that was kind of it for that section. So for some reason my door glitched. Don't know why, but it did. So that's another thing, by the way. So that items don't glitch or don't place, please, if you download this, turn on ubb.moveobjects cheat, because otherwise, you know, stuff's going to disappear and you might have a weirdly empty bit of space. Yeah, so in here we also have a drinks globe, like we did in one of the outbuildings, and I put the archaeology workbench in because it's got that kind of, you know, more rustic vibe, I suppose, if you fancy that, really. I mean, that's a bit of a lie, I didn't really put it there. I was just trying to find things that I could put down, because I was like, I don't know what to put around. Hence why we have another bookcase, and we have like a little cat bed, and I've put some cat treats in, and even like a little pet carry case in case your pet needs to go to the vet. Why not? And then, yeah, obviously some curtains. I've tried in this build to make sure that I remember curtains everywhere, which I think I did. Please, I think I did. I also did a bit more curtain manipulation by moving windows. It's far easier than putting down like 6 sets of a curtain so that you can move one exactly where you want it. And also, did you see, I put some fish on the wall because I had no idea what to put there. There wasn't enough art that wasn't like super modern, so there we go. We've got some fish, why not? Right, we're on to the bedroom. This is the last bit of furnishing before we can go into the screenshots. And this was the last bit of finishing I did before a whole bunch of terrain manipulation. No, not terrain manipulation, sorry. Before a whole bunch of like foliage manipulation. So you guys are going to skip over that, lovely, because that took me so long. Yeah, so up here, nice bed, windows and curtains. We have the rail, like wardrobe, because I think that looks really cute. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have a rail like that alongside a normal wardrobe in the future, because I like me some clothes. And I like hanging my clothes up. It's far nicer than folding them all. But anyway, so after this bit, gotta admit, guys, I was kind of like, I don't know what to do. We have like a big old pet bed. I've even put a like ottoman in here, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I thought, it's a really old house. Surely at some point there was a piano downstairs. You know, you could pretend that the piano used to be where the computer was, and they didn't want to get rid of the piano, so they just moved it upstairs. So you've got a piano in your bedroom. If your sim is good at piano, that'll be like beautiful, wonderful. If your sim is rubbish at piano, it's going to be really annoying. And by that I do mean that, like, if you have another sim in the house that's sharing the bedroom, you know, if you're a married couple, you know, one of them's trying to go to bed, the other one's trying to play piano, and they're rubbish, it'll just be frustrating. But no, I'm sure your sims are all great at piano, you know. Why not? Anyway, we're on to the screenshots now. So, lovely, cute exterior shots. I've tried to get them from lots of different angles. You know, oh, you got a little sneak peek at the maze there. You see where your little destination is. I think that's a lovely shot, just with the sun in the sky there. So we're going to go through the outer buildings first. So this is one of the bathrooms, followed by the like little living area with the painting station, one of the bedrooms. See, very nice for such a small space, if I do say so myself. The other bathroom, as you can see, I've just changed the swatch colours. That's about it. Another living area with like the organ. Lovely. Bathroom. Not bathroom. No, that's a bedroom. Wow. This is the main house living room as you come into it from another angle, so you can see through to the kitchen over there. I think we're just going to go into the small bathroom. Here we go. You know, clean, little, that's all you really need. The kitchen, which I think has come along looking really quite nice. We've got the little spell book stand there as if it was like a kitchen cookbook, which I've seen other people do and it's wonderful. Here is the bedroom upstairs, and from the other angle, and then we're going to have the floor plans. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment anything you like down below as long as it's not offensive, subscribe for more content, and that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye!